You know what's better than reading? Making lists of all the things you want to read. Hey! First, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, I'm dressed like a model off duty. I find that every day that I dress up like how I want to, like how my Pinterest board is, the more likely I am to do the shiz that I want to do. So yes, I'm wearing a crazy outfit, but I feel cute. I feel so comfy too. This is so soft. Back to making the list. So, as of filming this video, there are 20 weeks left in 2024. Which is crazy. This has been my lowest reading year by far, and I'm really hoping just to get into that habit of reading one book a week. And what is a better way to get excited for reading than making a giant long list of all the books I'm super excited for? So I'm gonna try and keep it to only 20, and some series are gonna jack me up because there are so many series that I'm in the middle of and that I really want to finish this year, because I can't go another year without finishing them. They're supposed to be my faves, and yet I'm treating them so dirty. I honestly, where do I start? Where do I start? Ignore how messy my bookshelf is, because I was supposed to do an unhaul and a book organization, but I'm just gonna have to save that for another day when I have more time. You know what? Let's start with the series that I really need to finish this year, or else I would be wildly disappointed in myself. And that is The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I fell in love with this book when I first read it. I probably read this in 2020 and immediately fell in love with the characters. This story follows a girl with magical powers in modern day New York City, and she gets sent to the past to steal something from the very last well-known magician, because in this world there are people with magical powers, and there's also a magical bubble trapping them in New York City, and then if they try and leave, it kills them. Isn't that lovely? We love the patriarchy. The main thing I love about this, besides all the historical nods in this book, which are really interesting, it definitely reads like a historical fiction, but also the romance. There's a lot of tension, but it's a slow burn, because they're just kind of sassing each other. They don't have time for romance. Gotta save this world. She's on a mission, and he's on a mission too. The Last Magician's like, yeah, I'm not fucking around, okay? So good. But have I read the whole series? No. I've read The Last Magician, I've read The Devil's Thief, and I've read part of A Serpent's Curse, and I haven't even finished the last one. The whole story is out, and I haven't read it yet. That's so embarrassing. Got another series here. It's interesting because I do say this is like an all-time favorite book, but have I read the other books in the trilogy? No, I've only read the first one, and it's The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna, and this is a story, how to describe this? Fantasy, epic fantasy. In this world, girls on their 16th birthday get checked if they are cursed or not. So they have to cut their hand and see if they bleed red blood, and that'll prove that they're human. If they bleed gold blood, it means that they are cursed demons, and they have to go fight in the army for the king, because, okay, these people who are demons also have superpowers, basically. Super strong, super fast. Are they demons? Or are they just girls who you're scared of because they're strong? I flippin' love this book, but have I read the rest of the trilogy? No, and I'm so sad. And this book also has a lot to talk about, history, false history. Ooh! So I really have to finish this, so that way I can proudly talk about it all the time and be like, this is my favorite book, da 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 da. Also, they're just so pretty. Another embarrassing book series that I loved and raved about that I haven't finished, even though the duology is done, Raybearer and Redempture. It seems like I need to be reading more fantasy, right? But I do have a lot of contemporary on my list too. There's a lot happening in this. A girl is cursed to kill the king as a child. And she has, magical abilities, yada yada. There's 13 states within this country, and each state needs a magical representative to join the king and be his team of representatives. But they become bonded for life, and they can talk to each other within their minds. Craziness. A main girl has been cursed to kill him, so she goes to try and join this team of elite statesmen, yada yada, but like in the back of her brain it's like, I must kill him. Crazy talk. And also like she wants to, you know, help the world be a better place. I can't believe, yeah, I've had this, and this is literally an arc from August 2021. This is my sign to finish it. That's 9 books right there. And that's like basically half my stack. That's the stack. Crazy. Like, I don't want to keep adding more series, but I kind of have to because there's another series that I desperately need to finish. It's insulting at this point that I haven't finished it. It's one of the series that really got me into reading. And that is 3 Dark Crowns by Kendall Blake. Oh my god, this book is so good if you want something kind of dark, mystical, fantasy. Basically, in this world, there is a queen who normally gives birth to, I believe it's always triplets, and they all have different powers, 3 distinct powers that normally are passed down through the bloodline. And these siblings are separated at birth, trained to be the best queen and fighters amongst them, and then at their like 16th birthday they have to kill each other, and the one who survives becomes the queen. Just, this is how this country has always done. They've never questioned it, and these 3 girls are put to the test, and it's so like dark and mischievous, and like these girls are trying to figure themselves out while also like trying to stay alive. Ooh, it's very, very interesting. I have read the first book, the second book, and the novella, which I will grab. I'm not lazy. This novella. I have not finished the 3rd or the 4th book. And I bet you it's freaking wild. So I gotta get on it. I'm like excited, but then it's like, what about all the contemporary books that I want to read? Ugh. Okay, I have priority books, both in the classic category and the contemporary category. So I will grab my contemporary ones. Because if I don't read them this year, I will be disappointed. We got 4 books. These 3 I have to read because of who wrote them. We have People Person by Candace Carty-Williams. She wrote one of my favorite books, Queenie, which was a great exploration into the struggles of being a black woman, being over-sexualized, basically being kind of traumatized into believing that you have no value besides your body. So I'm really excited to read People Person. I bet you it's gonna be so good and heart-wrenching. Next, again, my queen Elizabeth Acevedo came out with a book, Family Lore. Haven't read it yet. Aren't I disgraceful? I literally pre-ordered it and was so excited for it. I have the audiobook for it. I have no excuses. No excuses. I think I'm gonna have to do like a weekend reading vlog where I read all of these because I just, what's the excuse? And then we have Small Worlds by Caleb Azuma Nelson. And I loved his debut novel, Open Water. It was so romantic and poetic and spoke a lot about the issues. Again, about being black. Oh, hit home. Loved it, loved it. But it was also just written so well. So I'm very interested to read this one. I know this story is mostly about someone who comes from a music standpoint and wants to have like a musical career, but is surrounded by like people who are very religious. And I wonder how this book is going to talk about like the conflicts of like maybe pursuing your own creative dreams and your own religious background. I think it's going to be very interesting and very well written. Wait, coffee break. I'm thinking this is the last contemporary. I might be lying, but it is When They Call You a Terrorist by a bunch of people. But this is a book about the Black Lives Matter movement and how it was started by mothers who were concerned for their sons, their black sons. And I really want to read this. I really love when people talk about Black Lives Matter movements. A great rebuttal for when people go, well, all lives matter. Oh, okay, how many books do I have? So that was 9. I can only have 3 more books. So this is why this is really actually a good idea to do, because like these 20 weeks are gonna fly and I definitely need to prioritize reading these books. Well, now that I only have 3 left, maybe 1 top tier classic. Actually, there's kind of 2 top tier classics that I really want to read. An honorary mention that I'm not going to put on the list is Shirley Jackson's Haunting of Hill House, just because I read We Have Always Lived in the Castle and loved it. So it's kind of a short story, right? It's a shorter novel, so I feel like I can read it, but it's not a top priority. It's just something I would like to read. Top priority is freaking finishing that Dark Crown series. But these 2 are top tier priorities because I have a feeling they are going to be new favorites. I really, really do. First, we have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I talked about it in my last video, so I won't talk about it too much again, but her life was crazy, and I feel like this story is just at the perfect time in my age, in my maturity, in my journey right now, that I feel like I'm going to understand the depths of Mary Shelley's loneliness and desperation for love. So I feel like this is gonna be a new favorite. Last is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which I have this really cute classic edition. I do like mass market paperbacks. They make me feel smart. I'm probably the only one who enjoys reading them. I'm just like, haha, I'm so smart. Because there's less words on the page, so you feel like you're flipping through the book quickly, even though there's like 600 pages in it. 500. This was a book that I was supposed to read in high school, and I remember I literally only read the first chapter. Because she was a badass kid doing her thing, being rebellious. Society won't tell me how to be a woman, standing up to people, and then jump cut. Now she's an adult and she's demure, and I hate when people describe women as plain. Like, I feel like in anime they do that a lot to the protagonist or the main female characters, like, she's so plain and she got the attention of the super hot famous guy. I kind of hate that trope. So as a kid I was like, no, she was supposed to fight the patriarchy, and now she's not. I think now that I'm in my late 20s, I feel like I'm going to understand this book so deeply about how society really pummels that little kid energy that you have, and I'm very interested to just see the exploration of how to be a woman in society, but also really come into yourself. But obviously this is during like 1847, so it's gonna be a little different. It's a classic for a reason, even though sometimes I'm like, yeah, classics are pushed in our faces not for the best of reasons. They're like, this is the best author ever, and it's like, have you looked at any other continents and tried to find any other good authors? Maybe try that first. But I really do think this one, the story, I'm excited. Okay, last book. I'm only allowed one more last book. What am I gonna do? Okay, another honorary mention. I don't think I'm gonna get to it, but I really want to, and that is Out, and this is a different classic. I started reading it last October, and it's written so well and so, like, mysterious. Really gripping. I really do want to read this year. Oh, I wish I had more time. I also have a lot of nonfiction that I want to read, because I want to grow a big brain. I feel like y'all are gonna be so disappointed in me in this last book that I'm picking. But I have to, and it's for fun. And reading is also for fun. Not just big brain energy, but also for your little heart too. And that is Apprentice to the Villain. This is the second book to a really fun trilogy that's coming out that's all about this girl, the clumsy classic heroine who is working for a villain. Heads are rolling, murder is happening. Dude, this is your like Hallmark meets Office sitcom-y situation where we are in the villain's lair castle following around this assistant who's not very good at their job and who's clearly attracted to their boss. It's a fun time. It's hilarious. I definitely need to read this. So maybe whilst in the middle of some of those more serious books, I could take a little lighthearted break. Y'all, this just made me realize how little time I have and I need to read more. I'm scared. Okay, the final list. Oh my god, I didn't even mention Black Girls Must Die Exhausted. That's another trilogy that's a priority. I need more time. Oh my gosh. Here is the epic list of all the books that I want to read. And literally most of them are series. What the heck? And, oh wait, where did I put? Oh, and these two as well. I forgot to put them on the stack. All the books I need to read or else I'll be sad. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned next week. I'm gonna clean up the bookshelves. I'm gonna do a little unhaul and a book organization. We're getting my life together slowly but surely. Thank you so much for staying to the end. That really means the world to me. And for those people who stay to the end, you get to know why I'm wearing these freaking sunglasses indoors. My hair is not cute and elegant. It does not match the fit. So I put these sunglasses on as like a headband to cover all my frizzy hair underneath because I didn't want to slick my hair back because that's a lot of work, and I don't want to do that just yet, okay? So sunglasses. So that is why I'm wearing these obnoxiously big sunglasses. The more you know. See you next week. Bye bye.